All right, let's jump right into one of the most intense and, honestly, cinematic chapters in all of Genesis. We're going on a complete journey here using a framework called the Pardes. Think of it like looking at a diamond from four different angles. We'll see the cinematic story, hunt for hidden codes in the text, ask the deep emotional questions, and finally, uncover the mystical secrets. So let's walk with Abram, step by step, on his incredible journey from the darkness of doubt to the dawn of his destiny. We often think of a promise from God as this big lightning bolt from a clear sky, but it's not always like that, is it? Sometimes, like we're about to see, it all begins in the deep, profound quiet of a desert night, right after a massive, life-changing battle. I want you to really picture this. The adrenaline from the fight is gone. The dust has settled. It's just Abram, all alone in the immense stillness of the desert. You can almost feel that silence, can't you? And it's right there, in that moment of perfect quiet, that the word of the Lord comes to him in a vision. So God offers this ultimate assurance, right? A divine shield for protection and a massive reward. But Abram's reply, wow, it is not what you'd expect. It's so raw, so human, and just stunningly honest. He doesn't even say thank you. He immediately points to this giant, gaping hole in his life. He's essentially asking, what good is any reward when the one thing I ache for, the one thing my heart truly desires, a child, is missing? Now, this is where things get really interesting. You have to ask the question, is this a moment of Abram losing his faith? Is he doubting God? Or is it the exact opposite? Could it be that his relationship with the divine is so real, so incredibly intimate, that he feels safe enough to voice his deepest fears and disappointments without any filter? That's a huge distinction. And what's amazing is God doesn't scold him for questioning, not at all. Instead, he gives him an experience. He takes Abram outside, under that breathtaking canopy of the night sky, and gives him what seems like an impossible task. And this is the turning point. In that moment, looking up at the infinite, uncountable stars, something shifts. Abram believes. He trusts. And the text tells us that this belief, this simple act of trust, was counted to him as righteousness. It's a truly foundational moment. But wait a second, is this doubt creeping in again? Not exactly. This time it feels different. It's more like a request for something tangible, a physical anchor for this unbelievably huge promise. And God responds, not with more words, but with a mysterious, ancient, and deeply symbolic ceremony. Okay, I know this ritual seems really bizarre to us, and let's be honest, it's very bloody. But in the ancient world, this was the physical version of signing a contract in blood. This was as serious as it gets. So why these animals in particular? This is where we get to the second level of our journey, the remez, the search for hidden codes. For the kids watching, think of this like a sacred treasure hunt. These animals weren't chosen at random. Each one is a symbol, a code, for a different part of creation. So here's the code broken down. The big animals, the heifer, goat, and ram, they represent the physical world, everything that walks on the earth. And the birds, the turtle dove and pigeon, they represent the spiritual world, the soul that flies in the heavens. This covenant isn't just about land, it's about connecting and unifying all of reality. As the sun finally sets, things get intense. The text uses this terrifying language. A horror of great darkness falls upon Abram. This is not just regular nighttime, folks. We are now entering the deepest, most mystical layer of our story, what the sages call the sod, the secret. You see, for a totally new reality to be born, the old one has to dissolve. Abram has to go through this moment of cosmic emptiness, this personal void, what many call a dark night of the soul, so he can become the vessel for a prophecy that will change the world. And it's right there, in that terrifying darkness, in that state of absolute vulnerability, that a prophecy is delivered. His descendants will be strangers, they will be afflicted, for 400 years in a land that is not their own. This moment of deep, personal darkness connects Abram directly to the future suffering and ultimately the redemption of his people. It's like, in this single instant, he is feeling a shadow of the future exile in Egypt. And now we get to the absolute climax of this entire experience. A smoking furnace and a flaming torch, powerful symbols of the divine presence itself, they pass between the pieces of the animals, Abram doesn't walk the path. God does. God is binding himself unconditionally to the promise. And just like that, the deal is sealed. The promise isn't just words whispered in the dark anymore. It is now a binding contract, forged in fire, darkness, and divine commitment.
Wow, so after that incredible journey from doubt to promise to a covenant made in fire, what does this ancient story really mean for us, right here, right now? Well, this week, let's work on a specific character trait, a midah, that we're going to call honest trust, inspired directly by Abram's journey.
Here's what Abram teaches us. True faith is not the absence of questions. It's having a relationship that's strong enough to hold your deepest fears and your toughest questions. So when you feel doubt this week, don't push it away. Instead, try bringing your most honest question into a quiet moment. You might just find, like Abram did, that your most honest question is the very doorway to the deepest assurance you've been looking for. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes, the 4 levels of meaning in the text. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.